Hello, our most valued student. My name is Confident and welcome to our 24-minute lesson. This is the ultimate guide in maths, science, career guidance, as well as a sneak peek in my personal experiences. This is a channel that is designed with you in mind. Let us dive into today's lesson. In this section, I just wanted to give you, I'll call it a quick section, a quick revision exercise, as some of you guys are preparing for their term 1 work. So it's not really intensive. It's just a quick, what can I call it? Something to just get you through if ever you are having a few gaps there and there in your preparation for your term 1 work. So I got this paper and I thought of going through it as it covers quite a few things. I'm just going to do it in, let's call it 2 or 3 parts. So you just watch part 1, part 2, and part 3. Let's quickly look at question 1. That's what I'm going to be covering here. As I said, I'm just going to be quick with you. I don't want to spend a lot of time here. Just a short session and say, what are you supposed to do? They are given the first question. What does it say? It says you are supposed to solve for x. There, 2x plus 3. And then the other one is 6 minus x. Guys, here is 2 marks is equal to 0. Don't waste time. You take the first bracket. It says what? 2x plus 3, that is equal to 0, or 6 minus x is equal to 0. That's it. And then you're done. Take this one to the other side. X is already negative. Avoid taking 6. So when you take x to the other side, 6 is equal to, from negative x, it becomes positive. So there is the first value of x. And then on the other one, you take 3 to the other side, positive 3 to negative 3, positive to negative. You've got 2x is equal to negative 3. Now, 2 times x, so the opposite of multiplication, that's why I divide by 2, guys, like that. Then I've got my x is equal to, what you do on the left, you do on the right, is minus 3 over 2. And please, always take one solution. I'll just take this one where x is 6. Come and test your answer. Don't leave it like that. What if you just made a slight error? Come here where there is x, put a bracket. We say I will take, okay, let me take this one, this negative 2 over 3. So bracket 2 times negative 3 over 2. Remember, I'm testing. It must give me 0 plus 3. You close and then bracket 6 minus, you see, I've got that minus, and then I put negative bracket 3 over 2. Those things you need to be sensitive. If I close that bracket like that, I must just get a 0. You see, test even with 6. That's what you quickly do on that. All right, so that's the first one. 2 marks. As I said, it mustn't take you much. Now look at this one. If they say solve for x and then they say correct to 2 decimal places, the moment they do that, look at the mark allocation also. 3 marks. Quadratic formula. Don't waste time. What does it say? It says x is equal to minus b plus or minus, you won't be given this in the exam, you need to know it. It's b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. You've been practicing with it, it's time to use it. Now what am I given? I'm given this question 5, I'll make right far apart from each other, plus x minus 7 equal to 0. Now you remind yourself, what is the standard form? It says a x squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. Then you need to identify, see, coefficient of x squared, or the number before x squared. There it is. A is 5. Again, b, you see where is b? I'm circling that. This is the coefficient of x. If you don't see any number there, there is a 1, guys. There is a hidden 1. And then look at c together with the sign for c, together with the sign for b, together with the sign for a. Don't make those errors. So here a is 5, you agree with me? B is equal to 1 and c is equal to negative 7. If you miss out this, then you get everything wrong. Then when you now write it, it will be x is equal to minus from the formula, and b is 1 plus or minus square root of b squared is 1 squared minus 4a is 5, c is negative 7, and then divided by what? 2, and a is 5. And then they say you must give this answer correct to what? 2 decimals. I'll show you that you can just do that quickly, even by setting your calculator already. But let's first do it. It's a fraction negative bracket 1 plus square root, start with a positive, bracket 1 squared minus 4, my a is 5, and then my c is negative 7, right? And everything divided by 2, bracket 5. You see that? Equal to and then now when you say SD, you see that, and then we have to round off, shift setup, we have to round off, let your calculator do that for you. You say 6 for fix and then 2 decimals, and then you say SD there 1,09, you go backwards and then delete, put minus equal to 1,09 and minus 1,29. So it's 1,09 and minus 1,29. So these are my values of what x is equal to, or x is equal to. Now again, you can't leave it like that, you have to substitute it. But look what I'm going to do when I'm substituting. I need my previous answer. Now when I get the previous answer, remember it's already rounded off, so shift setup, I take it back to number 8. It's normal 1, my answer is back to normal. Now I need to substitute into this. So what do? See, if I say AC, then I say answer equal to, it gives me the previous answer that I did, the negative one. You see, if I say answer equal to, it takes me to that negative one. So what I do, I can now say 5 answer squared, the previous answer, plus answer, you see that, minus 7. If I say equal to, it was supposed to give me a 0 there. 5 answer squared plus answer minus 7 is equal to, meaning there is an error here. You see, that's how I pick up. It means something is wrong here. One way or the other, I did something wrong. So let's do it again. X is equal to minus bracket b. Let's check. Oh, yes, 5. Yes, I was doing in the right one. I was now mixing that one. So 5x squared plus x minus 7. So my a is 5, my b is 1, my c is negative 7. Let's check it. Minus 1 plus or minus square root of 1 squared minus 4. A is 5, c is negative 7 over 2a. So I don't know how I missed that. Let's try again with the calculator and see how I might have mixed up those numbers. But you see, the importance of testing, if I just left it like that, I would have thought I'm correct. But you can make a simple error like that. So minus bracket 1, and then we're saying, and then plus, let's take the plus, square root, remember, square root of bracket 1 squared, are you with me, minus 4, my a is what? For a is 5, my c is negative 7, right, all over 2, my a, we say it is 5. Let's check it again where I made an error. There it is. As I said, I was rounding off. This is correct. If I say shift setup, remember 6 is that fix. I'm fixing to 2 decimal places. SD 1,09. That's the positive. Let's go to the negative. Then you delete, put minus equal to. That is negative 1,29. Now let's come back to see where am I ref because the answers are actually saying that this is correct. So let's come back to say, how might I have mixed it up here? So as I said, I bring the previous answer. So when I bring this previous answer, I say to you, this is the last one, AC. See, when I say AC, I say answer equal to, it gives me my previous answer. So I still have my answer, but I can take it back, mode setup, 8, back to the original answer, 1, which is not rounded off. I see that. So now I will say 5 answer squared is 5, and then answer squared, plus x is what is my answer, remember, then minus 7. From here it must give me a 0. I don't know why I made an error there. So you will know that it's correct. You can do with the other one. Once it gives you a 0, you know you're 100% assured that that is correct. So I don't know where I might have done the wrong. Maybe I just said answer forgot a squared. So there's the other one, x squared plus 8x plus 15 greater than or equal to 0. Inequalities, guys. Let's go to this. How do you go about here? It's x squared plus 8x and then plus 15 is greater than 0. Now, whenever I'm working on these, as I say, I'm just doing these things in a quicker pace. You have to go back to my previous videos where at times I just teach you the concept. Here we are revising. 3 marks. What do you do? First things first, you need to factorize. I also still suggest go through the quadratic equation, but here they are not going to give you any mark for the quadratic equation. So I have got 1 here. I can just quickly say my A is 1, my B is equal to 8, my C is equal to 15. But you can factorize. Remember the factorization whereby you come here and do that, and this will be equal to 0. You are getting what is called critical values. That's what you're going to be doing. So if I was doing that to get my critical values here, I will have my x here, my x here. I need the factors of 15, which is 3 and 5. Like this, I've got plus and plus. So my critical values was going to be x is equal to, remember, x plus 5 is equal to 0. So take 5 to the other side, becomes x is minus 5, or take 3 to the other side, x is equal to minus 3. But I prefer also quadratic equation, you know. So you take your calculator. You need to be, your quadratic equation, you must be a friend of it. It mustn't take you long to do it. You can literally do it without writing. Remember, it's minus, it's actually fraction, minus b, and b is 8, bracket 8, plus square root of b squared. Since it's positive, I can even leave out the bracket, minus 4, my A is 1, my C is 15. See, it doesn't take you long. All over 2, my A is 1. It still doesn't take you long to do. And then for B squared minus 4A, alright, I forgot to close there, equal to there. X is minus 3, play back, delete, put minus, and x is equal to minus 5. Whatever case, just use something that I prefer, the quadratic equation. Students struggle with this kind of factorization. They have a problem here. So what do? I'll say go through the quadratic formula. Okay, so when you've done that, these are your what? These are your critical values. So what do you do? From here, when you've got the critical values, you know what to do. Okay, you don't know what to do. This is what you do. Have it on a number line like this. And then with that number line, remember which one starts before the other. Minus 5, then minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, because 0 is somewhere there. So you see the negative increases going this direction. So just don't be confused there to say I don't know which one is which. Alright. So this side is increasing with the negative, and this side is increasing with the positive. Remember. So negative 3 is less positive, is less negative. From here, let me erase now this. They will mark you the critical values, by the way. There is a mark for that. It's just 1 mark. But now when you have done that, you need to test your values. So what you do is, when you're testing your values, you come here and say, okay, I'm looking for a number before negative 5. For example, the number you can test with is negative 6 here. You are going to put negative 6 here, and then you look for a number that is in the center between negative 5 and negative 3. It's negative 4. Then you can choose a number after negative 3. You can choose 0 is the best answer. So I'm going to test these numbers onto this. I'm going to check them. Are they positive or are they negative? That's all that I'm just testing for now. So let's start with the first one. It's x squared bracket. It's negative 6 squared plus 8 bracket negative 6. I see what I'm doing there. And then plus 15. I'm interested in the sign, equal to, I'm getting a positive. Did you see that? Now let me try negative 4. The first one was positive. Let's try negative 4. Negative 4 there. This one, negative 4. The first one was positive. There is negative. Don't worry with the number, but look at the signs. Positive, negative. Let me try 0. 0. So this one was negative, the last one. Let's try 0. It will be what? Positive, you see? So I got this, and you always get something with a pattern. If it's positive here, it will be negative there, it will be positive there. It's either negative, positive, negative. You can get like this, negative, then you'll get a positive, then a negative. The signs fluctuate or interchange. You'll never get a positive, positive, negative, or negative, negative, positive. When you have done that, you come back to this scenario here. to ask yourself, they say this thing must be greater than 0. Now what number is greater than 0? 1 is greater than 0, 2 is greater than 0, 3 is greater than 0. So you can see that these are numbers that are positive. Anything greater than 0, greater, represent the positive sign. So you come here to say the region that I'm interested in, you link it. Link that region to say, since the greater relates to positive, when you come here searching, you're going to see, oh, that's how it communicates. You come here again, oh, there is a positive, that's how it communicates. So that is the region that I'm looking for after testing. So your answer becomes, look at this, x, you put an x even here, that's your x, these are x and x. Now here, look at it. If I was saying, I showed you that this increases this direction, so that's the sign you use. X is less than -5. And then here, this is the sign you use. Remember, this arrow increases that direction. So x is greater. This side is greater. All numbers going this direction, they are bigger than, they are greater than. Greater than what? -3. But this direction numbers are less because they are negative. Less than what? The critical value. Greater than what? The critical value. Then you've got those two answers. That is that. I hope it makes sense. As I said, I'm just revising but not doing things in detail. Next one. Now 1.2, let's move on to the simultaneous equation. Here, what does it say? It says 4x minus y is equal to 3 and y squared minus 2xy plus 1 is equal to 0. So there we go. So guys, you are given this. Remember, you are supposed to what? You are supposed to solve for x and y. This is a simultaneous equation. Look for the easier one. This is equation 1. This is equation 2. As I say, just doing it fast, but look at equation 1. It's much simplified. Equation 1, there are different ways of solving it. 4y. So now, since y is negative, I can take y that side and 3 this side. It will be -3 is equal to y. That is one way. Or you can say 4x minus 3. Take -3 this side, and then let me do this. Or I'm saying remain with y minus y is equal to what? 4x, not 4x, is equal to that positive 4x will become negative when it jumps. It's negative 4x plus 3. See that? Now divide by negative on both sides, so you interchange the signs. Y is equal to negative 4x becomes 4x minus 3. One way or the other, you're still going to get this equation. We call that equation 3. So this becomes our equation 3. Now we are going to say equation 3 into 2. Are you seeing that? So we take equation 2 and say, what is equation 2? Y squared minus 2xy plus 1 equal to 0. Are you with me? Then from here, you interchange. Remember, what did you say? You said here y, let me put it, bring it back. Y is equal to, this is 4x, sorry. This is 4x here. It was 4x minus 3. So we said y is equal to 4x minus 3. Am I right? Even the other one was 4x minus 3. So now you do this. Where there is y, you put here. You put it there. You put it there. So let's do that. Now it's bracket 4x minus 3 squared minus 2x. Then y is 4x minus 3. Then plus 1 equal to 0. Now that's where most of you, they catch you sleeping there. You know what you guys are doing most of the time, that error? You take the square and you do this and you do this, and you're like 4x squared minus, you're like 3 squared is minus 9. I mean, this is suicidal of you to do that. You cannot. That does not mean that. You cannot. You cannot. If I say to you, what is x squared? X squared is same as x times x, or x dot x, remember? So what is this thing squared? So you can't do what you're doing like that. You cannot, guys. Avoid that silly error because it's costing most of you some marks. What does that square mean? That square means open 2 brackets. That's what that square symbol means. So that you can say 4x minus 3, and another bracket is 4x minus 3. See? Then minus 2x. and then you still have your 4x minus 3 plus 1 equal to 0. Please avoid that. Now you open the bracket, expand. This multiplies and this multiplies. This multiplies and this multiplies. Even minus 2x multiplies and minus 2x multiplies. Some of you don't even have like you struggle multiplying. You want to use your mental knowledge, but you are struggling. For example, some of you say 4 times 4, they'll say 8x squared. Do you see your error there? If you're not seeing your error, use a calculator, because some of you are asking what is wrong there, which means I caught you. 4 times 4 is 16, it's not 8. So this is 16x squared, then 4 times that is minus 12x. This time this is minus 12x. Are you getting it, guys? Minus 3 times minus 3, some are going to say plus 6. Did I catch you? Do you see anything wrong? If you're seeing it, then you're good. But if you don't see it, please rely on your calculator. It's 9. 3 times 3 is 9, not 6. Then minus 2 times 4 is minus, okay, 2x minus 4x, there is minus what? 8x squared. Alright, minus 2x times minus 3, there is the plus what? 6x. Are you with me? Because it's 2x there. Plus 1 equal to 0. Then what you do? Collect like terms. I'm going to be collecting like terms. There is the square and there is the square. See that? 16 minus 8. What is that? 16 minus 8, it's 8x squared. I'm correct there. Then the other one, let's look for the x. There is the x, there is the x, and there is the x. So it's minus 12 plus 6. Just simple, take a calculator. Avoid overthinking, avoid overanalyzing things. Take your calculator. Minus 12 plus 6. Is that too much for you? Don't overthink. You don't want to use your mental energy in the exam. Negative 18. So you come here and say minus 18x. And then 9 plus 1 is what? Plus 10 is equal to 0. I know most of you are saying, I like to factorize and find my factors. Where you do that, you first divide by, okay, before you that, not most, it's also acceptable. Divide by 2 there, it will be 4x squared minus 9x plus 5 is equal to 0. It's fine to do this, but you know what? I avoid it. I take it as is. Quadratic formula. What is x? X is equal to, this is my A, my B, and my C. Plug it straight into the quadratic formula. You need to be comfortable with it. So it's fraction minus B, which is what? Minus 18. See, that's my B. You need to know how to punch it without even writing the formula. My plus square root of B is negative 18 squared. See that? Minus 4. My A is 4. My C is 5. Are you seeing that? I hope I did punch that thing correctly. Over 2, and my A is 4. You see that? Then equal to, there is the, I'm supposed to get, why is it giving me that? Let's check it again. It's minus, let's do it again and see. Usually these questions, you know, they are not complicated. It's minus there. Let's take it fresh. It's minus bracket minus B, which is minus 18 plus square root of minus 18 squared, and then minus 4, and then A is 8. You see, I'm using now the wrong one now. I'm using the wrong one. I said 8 is 4 and 4. It's supposed to be 8 here. I'm using now this A, but A is 8 for A, and then my C is 10. You see, I was using the wrong one now. Equal to there, 5 over 2. The quadratic formula, let's go back to this quadratic formula. What did I say here? I said my A and B. Let's go back to the quadratic formula. Maybe my my x there is faulty. It's minus, it's fraction minus B, it's bracket minus 18, right? Plus square root of B squared is negative 18 squared minus 4. My A, remember I'm using at the top, my A is 8, right? My B is what? For AC, my C is 10, and then all over 2 at the bottom, and my A is 8. See that? Then you do that, equal to, there is a problem there. X is 5 over 4
I think there it is, delete minus, and x is equal to 1. Oh, I see now. X is equal to 1 and x is equal to 5 over 4. So I don't know what error I did there, but see, I'm working backwards to check if ever there was some errors that I make. This was 5 over 4. So it automatically changes the value of y. That's why, see, testing is important. Don't just move on without just quickly testing your answer. Put a 1 here. It even changes everything about y. You see that? What is the value of y? This is 4 times 1, so y is 1. Then what about the other one? 5 over 4 here. It changes everything. It's 5 over 4. Then fractions like this, just rely on the calculator. So you've got 4 bracket 5 over 4 minus 3, see, equal to 2. So instead of 7 there, I'm supposed to have y being 2, right? So let's test this one. Let's test again on this one. 5 over 4 and 2. Where do you take it? You take it in the original. 5 over 4 and 2 here. So when x is 5 over 4, y is equal to 2. Why do you test? So that you are just more confident about your answer. Don't just move on and leave it like that, because you are just going to leave errors as they are. I know you're going to say time is a factor. Yes, but it's better to be correct than to lose the 6 marks and you're just rushing while it was maybe a small error. There it is. Let's do it. 2 squared minus 2 times x is, we said what, 5 over 4. Are you seeing that? And then times y is times 2, and then plus 1. It must give us a 0. Now it's fine. Then you know that is correct. And then the last one, quickly, as I said, I didn't want to take more time here. I wasted time on this simultaneous that was thing. It says given kx squared minus 5 x minus 1 is equal to 0, where k is not equal to 0, for which value or values of k will these have real roots? To have real roots, remember, is coming from, for the nature of roots, you have got b squared minus 4ac of the quadratic formula. To have real roots, it must be greater than or equal to 0. That's where the whole thing is here. So, but you come back and say, what do I have? I've got kx squared minus 5x minus 1. It was equal to 0. You identify your what is coming from ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. You identify your a is your k. See that? Your b is minus 5. See that? Your c is negative 1. So where you say b squared, if I can take this one here, duplicate and take it down here, and then redo it to say now where I've got b, you see b is minus 5, so it's bracket minus 5 squared, see, minus 4a is what? A is k. See that? And then what about c? C is negative 1. Are you getting that? So minus 5 squared minus 4a is my k, and then c is minus 1 is greater than or equal to 0. So you simplify this now. This is negative 5 squared. This one will give us 25 here. 25. Then plus, see that? Plus negative 4 times negative 1 is plus 4k. Is greater than or equal to 0. I saying that. Then you take this to the other side. You have got 4k is greater than or equal to negative what? Negative 25. And then what do? You divide by 4. Divide by 4. Then you've got k is greater than or equal to negative 25 over 4. Values, you see, it's more than that. It's more than that. Then the last one here, it says determine two integral values of k for which the roots of this is equal to 0 will be rational. Now for roots to be rational, they mean that you must have a perfect square. So for rational, what it means is b squared minus 4ac must be equal to 0. So we got here, this part here, 25 plus 4k. Now you just write it as 25, right? It was 25 plus 4k plus 4k must be equal to 0. Take this to the other side. We have got 4k is equal to negative 25. It's the same answer here that you're getting actually. So that you've got k is equal to what? It's what? You said it was greater than, actually. It was greater than negative 25 in a way. Negative 25 over 4. So now here they are saying two integral, what does it say? Determine two integral values of k for which this will be rational. So what you can think of this what you can have here. If I can do SD here just to show you a quick one. If I say what is negative 25 over 4 just to get a number like is 6,25, this thing, which is equal to negative 6,25. Now to get rational, it's either our values here, a k can be equal to whole numbers like minus 6, remember it's greater than. It can be numbers that are greater than that, minus 5, it can be minus 4, as long as it is a perfect square. That is what they wanted there. To make k, remember here, what you need is, you need this thing here, square root of that, to become equal to, let me do it here, this one. For it to be rational, what you have got square root of b squared minus 4ac. So it must be a perfect square. That's why we are saying it must be equal to 0. So one of the numbers, if I put b here as, for example, if I put b as negative 6 here, right? To put b as here and then k as negative 6. Let's put k as negative 6 here. What will I have? It will be bracket 25. Let's do that. Let's put k as negative 6, for example. 25 plus 4 negative 6, right? Equal to, you see, I'm getting a 1. 1 is a perfect square. Let's try another one. Let's put negative 5. 5 is not a perfect square. Let's try, so negative 5 won't do. Let's try negative 4. There is a 9, so negative 4 will do. Let's play back. Negative 3 won't do. Let's say negative 2, so negative 4 will do. What did we say? We said, yeah, negative 4, and then negative 2. Negative 2 won't do. Let's try negative 1. It won't do. Let's try 0. When k is 0, 0 will do. Remember, it's greater than. So k can be, I see now, k can be, remove negative 5. They say just two integral values. K can be negative 6 or negative 4. To be rational, it must be equal to 0. So it must be a perfect square. So those are the values that you can put. I think 0 also could have done there. But you can choose any value as long as it is greater than or equal to negative 25 over 4. Are you with me? So that is that. Now, what I'm going to do, the other next time, do question 2, quick. Do question, blah, and then we wrap it up. So there is this part, and then I don't know whether you guys also did your trick. There is trick into this part, question that I got, trigonometry. It was a common test, and then after that you've got Euclidean. So check the other coming videos as you revise. Thank you.